Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm really excited about this video and I will explain you why. Because in this video I'm gonna unbox, review and test my very first CO2 laser. Up till now I've done many reviews on different diode lasers for people who follow me from different brands on the market. And they work great. I've had a lot of fun with these and I'm still using them almost on a daily basis. But never had I done a review on a CO2 laser. Until Monport reached out to me and they asked me if I would do a review on one of their CO2 lasers, and I said yes. So they provided me with the Onyx R. It's a 55 watt desktop CO2 laser. It's a pretty sizable machine. Let me show you the box it came in, or the crate it came in, I should say. Here you can see the crate. It's a pretty large crate, as you can see. It's a pretty heavy one as well. This one weighs 50 kilograms. So it's not a very light machine. It's a machine for meant for professional use. Let's say you have a store or something, you do batch processing. That's the machine you can use for that. Of course, you can also use diode lasers, but they will take a lot more time than this CO2 laser. So in this video, I'm gonna unbox it. I will show you everything that's included. I will do many tests on the machine, do engraving and cutting on different materials, to see how it operates and if it works. I will connect it to LightBurn. Let me put the camera up. So if you like this, let me know, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It will really help me a lot and help my channel grow. So I would really appreciate it if you could do that. I think we can start with the first step, is taking this machine out of the crate. I will probably have to do it with two persons because it's just too heavy to lift on your own. So let's do that first. So I've repositioned the camera. I think you have a clear view of the crate. I've already bended all these clips upwards so you can open the lid. So let's do that and see what's inside. I will do like this so you can see me, otherwise I'll be out of frame. Let me see if I can open it like this. Yes. So next up, there's some protective foam. And well, this is really some protective foam. As you can see, it's 2 inches, so that's pretty good protection. You can see you've got these straps with which you can lift the machine, but you can see this is really heavy, so I will not be able to lift it on camera. I will do it with two persons, or maybe break my back and do it on my own. I have to see. I've unwrapped the machine and as you can see, there are a lot of accessories inside and protective material. So I will remove all the accessories and then we can have a look inside the machine. So I've put the machine aside for a minute. First let's focus on the included accessories. There's a pretty sizable honeycomb bed included. It's a nice and sturdy bed. Let me see, the actual working area is 32 centimeters in depth and 50.5 in width. So that's nice. I will put it aside for a minute. Then we've got the toolkit. We've got 3 hose clamps included, because there's also an inline fan that comes with the machine to secure these hoses. You've got a power cable, of course, network cable, because you can connect this machine also via network. 2 USB-A to USB-A cables. One longer one is for connecting the machine, and the shorter one is to connect the camera. There's a 5 megapixel camera on the machine. There's of course a user manual. Comes in different languages, so that's also included. You've got 2 fuses, so spare fuses. Some Q-tips if you want to clean your lenses. Let me see. There's a USB stick. It's nice, it's a Kingston, so it's a branded one. There's a little, let me see, ruler. I think this is for manual focusing the laser. But this is an automatic focus, so I will show you this in the video later on. This machine has an automatic, fully automatic focus. Also some Allen wrenches if you want to do some maintenance. And then finally, let me close this one. There's a wrench included to loosen the lens on the laser. and also a little acrylic plate that you can see it has been tested, because that's the nice thing about the CO2 laser. This one can do acrylic and also glass without preparing it with paint, so that's nice. Let me open this one, the inline fan. Let me take it out. Here you go. Put it like this. Throw this away. So as you can see, it's a pretty sizable fan. Let me see. This one is about 10 centimeters. So that's a nice fan. It has a switch on the power cord. So that's nice that this is included. In the machine itself there's also a smaller fan, but this is more like a computer fan. So it's nice that they included this pretty large one. That's it. Next up I will go and look into the machine, show you around what's inside of the machine. So let's have a closer look at the machine. The covers on the left and right side, you can take these off. You have to loosen a few screws and then you can take them off. I will do this in a minute, so I will show you what's underneath. But on the right side over here you will find the power supply. In the middle you will find the air assist pump. And on the top you will see the controller. This is not a GRBL machine. This is a more professional machine which uses a Ruda controller. It has more options than the standard GRBL machines have. But it does mean that you need to purchase LightBurn Pro if you want to connect this one to LightBurn. Or you can use the included free software RDWorks if you want. But I prefer LightBurn and I do have the license. On this side you will find, let me see, you will find the reservoir for the coolant. And over here you will see the chiller, which is also inside of this machine. So that's nice. You don't need an external chiller for this one. Let me open it. You can see the lid has these gas struts. So that's nice. It will keep the lid open. And I will show you the rest of the machine close up. First let me remove the panels. You can just take them off like this. I've already loosened the screws. Be aware if you take off this panel, there's a start button which is connected. So if you take a look at this connector, you can just take it off and then remove the panel. And on this side as well, let me move to the left side. You can also take off these covers like so, and then you can see inside. So let me show you the machine up close. On the right side, on the front, there's this emergency button. If something happens, you can just press it in and the machine stops immediately. You can release the button by twisting it clockwise, and then you can press it in if something is wrong. Then on the inside, let me show you. This is the power supply. This is the high voltage power supply, because the laser tube, this one needs high voltage to operate. So this is the power supply. Then you've got in the middle the air assist pump, and this seems to be an upgraded version. I did see some other reviews online where this was a bit smaller. So I think they improved it, because some people they explained that the previous pump didn't have enough power. So there's a larger one, so that's nice. And then on the top you can see the Ruda controller. Let me move the gantry so I can show you on this side. Here you can see the controller. It's got these inputs and outputs to connect the stepper motors, the limit switches and everything. Also the network cables are connected over there, and the USB. So that's the controller. Let me take a look at the laser head. Let me move it a little bit. This cover you can take off. You can just slide it up and it will reveal the mirror and also the lens. The lens is over here inside of the head. The third mirror is over here. You can see a small stepper motor on the Z-axis, and this is because, as I've explained, this is a fully automated focusing system. It's got a little stepper motor. It's got a sensor on the bottom of the machine. So if this touches off, it will click, and then it knows the exact height to set the focus on. You can see a little lead screw and a brass nut. So that's a really nice system. This one can just slide on like so, if you want to close it back up. Let me put this cable over here so I will not pinch it, and then I can slide it on like so. You can also see the air assist hose connected to the nozzle. Let me move to the other side of the machine. On this side of the machine you can see the reservoir for the coolant. You can also see an airflow sensor, so it detects if the coolant is not pumped around, because you don't want to damage your laser tube. So it's nice that they included this. There you can see the little pump, which will pump the coolant around. Over here you can see the chiller. The radiator. Let me move the gantry. So it's over here. The coolant will be pumped through this radiator, and it will be cooled. So that's nice. On this side you can see there's a rotary connector and also a switch. You can turn it on and off, and the machine has some I think it's special power supply as well in here, and also a controller, stepper controller for the rotary axis. So that's nice. The nice thing about this machine is, and I will explain this in a minute, everything is on this gantry. So this is the first mirror. So the laser beam will bounce off on the first mirror. It will go this way onto the second mirror. It will again bounce off onto the third mirror, which is behind this hole, and then it will go down on the working area. These mirrors need to be aligned exactly, so you can reposition these mirrors using these set screws. You can do the horizontal movement, the vertical movement, and the diagonal, so you can adjust everything so it's exactly in line. But the nice thing about this design is that everything is on this gantry. If you compare this one to the K40, the less expensive model from Monport, the laser tube is fixed at the back. So if you adjust and align the mirror on this side, and the machine is not entirely straight, it might be out of alignment on this side. But that's not the case with this design, because the laser tube is on the gantry as well as the mirrors and also the laser head. So everything moves with the gantry. So you only need to align it once and it will be in perfect alignment every time. So that's a really nice design. Let me move to this side of the machine. Also, this machine, being a more professional machine, has different sensors, limit switches. These are actually Hall sensors, so they sense the metal part coming into in reach of this sensor, and it will stop. So it has one on the X and the Y axis, so that's nice. You can see the couplers over here, because there's a rod connecting the right side to the left side. So the stepper motors, which are on this side, hopefully you can see it, over here, and also on this side is a stepper motor. These are connected with each other. Another nice thing about this machine is it's got linear rails on all axes. So on the X axis you've got the linear rail, also on the Y axis. So that's really nice and very sturdy. And it's I think it's also necessary, because this machine can really reach pretty high speeds, up to 600 millimeters a second. So it's not a minute, but a second. So that's really really fast. Here you can see the laser tube. It's got a sensor also on there. The coolant is inside. So it runs all the way from the right to the left side. It's a 55 watt laser tube. And then you've got the camera. This is a 5 megapixel camera, also included with the machine. So that's, I think, the basic overview of the machine. So if you remove the crumb tray, then you can put in the honeycomb bed. You can just slide it in like this. And then you can put this tray back in the bottom position. So you have easy access to your crumbs to clean it, and also removing the honeycomb bed. Also on this side you can see there's a rubber strip. You can remove this one. You can take it out. Let me see if I can get it out. Like so. And then there's an opening, and there's also one on the back. So you can do large sheets of plywood or other material. You can just feed through. It's only this thick, so you cannot do very thick boards. But yeah, you can do very long boards using this this pass-through. So that's a nice nice addition as well. Let me put this rubber back. It's nicely secured in place. You need to push it in. You will not get it out by accident, as you can see. So I've connected the power cable, flipped the switch. So if I turn this emergency stop, it should turn on. I've put back this panel, so this one is connected. I've left this one open so you can see the liquid going through the system. Let me turn it on. As you can see, it's indeed pretty bright, as other people have mentioned, but you can change this. It should go to the home position, which is on this side, and it does. It will stop at the sensor and move back a little bit. Let me move the camera so I can show you over here. Here you can see the liquid being pumped through the flow sensor. This, of course, is not an airflow sensor. I misspoke earlier, but this is a liquid flow sensor. So it's being pumped, and if you go to the laser tube, let me see if I can... Yeah, you can see over here, you can see the liquid being pumped through the tube. Make sure there's no air bubbles. If you have an air bubble, you can just press this a few times to get it started and remove the bubble. So everything seems to be working fine. Let me put back the camera, like so. I will put back this cover, and then we can connect it to LightBurn, I think. So on the back of the machine, you've got two USB ports. First one is for the camera, second one is for the computer. And there's also an Ethernet port, so you can also connect this laser via network. But I will use the USB ports to connect it to LightBurn. So first, let's connect it to LightBurn. I've already connected both USB cables. So you click on Devices. Then you say Find My Laser. And then Next. And it will be scanning for the devices. And as you can see, it has found a RUDA controller. I will use the serial USB. Again, be aware, if you want to connect this RUDA controller to LightBurn, you will need the Pro version of LightBurn. It will cost you, I think, about almost 100 euros extra if you want to upgrade the license. So if you already have a license from LightBurn, you can just upgrade it and then select the RUDA device. So I will say Add Device. I will call it Monport Onyx R 55W laser, for instance. This is already set correctly for 460 by 290. I will say Next, and I will choose right rear. So that's the home position of this device. I will say Next and Finish, and then I press OK. And it will connect to the machine. As you can see, it updates my working area to the correct size, and it's all also connected now. I should be able to move and jog the system, and I can. I've set it to continuous jog, so if I press and hold it, it will jog continuously, and it does. And if I press home, it will go to the home position. Nice thing is you can also see there's a focus Z option, which you normally don't have. Let me move the camera a little bit closer. Let me put it right here on the machine itself, and I will move the head a little bit closer, like so. Let me move it up a little bit so you can see it, like so. If I put something underneath, let me look for a little piece of plywood. Yes, I found it. I will put it here. That's a nice thing about this machine. Let me put it here. Now I will press the focus Z. And you can see it automatically touches off. Let me do it again. It will sense the wood, and it just has adjusted the Z height. So the laser is now in focus. So that's really very convenient. So next, let's do the camera calibration. Let me move this one For this you will choose laser tools, then you do calibrate camera lens. I will select the USB cam. Fish eye, I will do a full calibration, use the circles pattern, which is already underneath. Then I will say next, and I will disable the honeycomb check. I've put a plywood sheet underneath, and I will say capture. It says it found the pattern, so I will say next. I will need to move it down. See if we will recognize it. Yes, I will say next. Put it to the left. Like so. Hopefully it will record it. No, not good enough. Let me move it back a little bit. Capture. Yeah, that's it. Do next. See. Yeah. Next. So now this is done, the calibration. Now we need to align it. And for this I need to create some marks on carton or wood. So I will do that next. I have put a sheet of paper underneath the camera, as you can see on the bed. I will press align camera. I will select the USB cam. Go next. I will scale it to 80%. So 500 seems to be around the max. So I will do 500 because, and then 20% power. See what he does. I will say start. Yeah, I think it's visible, as you can see. So that's nice. You can see the points. Let me click next. Then I will say capture image. Now you can see it captured the image. So I will say next. Now I need to press on the first mark. Enlarge it a little bit. And the more accurate you do, the better the alignment. So double click. That's the first one. Let me zoom in on the next one. I think it's around here. Zoom out, go to the third one. Oh, this is a little bit light because of the light bar in the front, but I think it's undo last. A little bit lower, I think, over here. I will do like this. And then number 4. If you use wood instead of paper, I think this might be a little bit better. I will do like this. I will say next. Now it says you're done. Press the finish button. And now you can select the camera. Update the overlay. If I disable the fade option, you can see you've got the camera view. So next up, let's test the camera. So let's see how accurate the camera is. I've created a circle 2 centimeters in width. I will do I will engrave it. So I will do fill 500 millimeters a second, 20%. And then once this is engraved, I will update the overlay to see if it's off or not. Let me start the engrave. So this one is ready. Let me update the overlay. And you can see it's off by a little bit. This might have to do with the fact that I didn't align it perfectly because of the light. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can, however, adjust it. So you can do a shift. Let me shift it a little bit. And then you can change the size to make it more accurate. Let me do this one as well. See if I need to shift this one. Shift it a little bit. Oh, that's 4. And then maybe adjust it a little bit more. I think that's, yeah, you still see a little bit. You can adjust it a little bit more, but you can just, yeah, change it so that it's accurate. But I think it's okay like this. Let me move it so you can see. If I move it back, it will be on the engraving. So it is pretty accurate. I think again, if you do the alignment a little bit more accurate than I did, it will be. I think it will be spot on. But you can always fine tune it using these settings. So you can also use this option. Let me zoom out a little bit to do the tracing. Let me put this one on. Let me put this card on like so. Let me do the update of the overlay. Here you can see this one. Let me move this. And you can use this to do a trace. So if you say trace and enlarge it, you can see, let me move this one out of the way. You can see at the bottom there's poor lighting, so you have a little bit more inaccuracy. But if you go to the top ones, you can see they are pretty accurate. So if I say OK, and now I zoom out, I can move this one. You can see it has been traced. So if you want to make a copy of these circles, you can just trace the image using the camera, and then you can engrave it. So that's another benefit of having a camera. So the first thing I always do with a new machine is create some material test sheets for both cutting and engraving. So you go to laser tools, material test, and I have created this one. I already did the test off camera. I first started out with 600 millimeters a second being the fastest, so from 10 to 600. And then I also did one from 10 to 100. I will show you these in a minute, but based on these first tests, I will set the speed from 10 to 50 millimeters a second. It's a 10 by 10 grid. If I do the preview, it will take 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Will look like this. So now that we have created one for cutting, I will also do one for engraving. For engraving, I have set the speed, the minimum to 60 millimeters a second and the maximum to 600 millimeters a second. So again, this is seconds, so not minutes. Normally with the diode lasers you will do millimeters a minute, and with the CO2 you will set this to millimeters per second. You can also do it per minute, of course, if you want. You can change it in the settings, but I want to start out with the seconds. Again, 20 to 65% power. It will look like this. It will take 24 minutes to finish. So now that I have done the test sheets, the material test sheets, let me have a look at them. First one I did, as I've explained, I did set the speed to 600 millimeters a second, maximum and minimum 10. And as you can see, it only did cut out the first row. So on 10 millimeters a second, he did cut it out. On the other ones, it didn't come out. So I knew that this was just too fast. So I lowered the speed and I did 10%, 10 millimeters a second up to 100 millimeters a second. You can see it's already getting better. So up to 30 millimeters a second, he could cut it out from 45% power and on. So I changed the settings to this one. That was the last one. It went from 10 millimeters a second to 50 millimeters a second, and now you can see it's a normal pattern. You can see it can do up to 32 millimeters a second at 60% power. So, and keep in mind again, this is millimeters a second. So if I would change it, it would be 1920 millimeters a minute. So that's pretty fast. My 40 watt laser, the longer B1, can do up to, I think, 700 millimeters a minute at 80%. So here you can see it's pretty fast. So it's almost 3 times as fast as the diode laser that I have. And this is the one for engraving. You can see on the bottom it was just a little bit too much. So it's cut out completely. But over here you can see a nice gradient. You can see it is 600 millimeters a second. 20%, you can still have a little bit of engraving, so it's still in the material. If you go to this side, the power gets more, it will be deeper. And if you go down, the speed gets lower, it will be even more deeper and darker. So you can see there's a nice color change and a really nice depth to it. It's a nice and clean engrave as well on the letters. So first test sheets look promising. Now that I've got this CO2 laser, of course I want to try some acrylic. This was not possible using a diode laser. Maybe if you paint it, you can do a little bit of engraving, but you cannot cut this, this transparent acrylic. So I'm gonna create a little keychain, do some engraving on it, cutting it out, and then see how it performs. That's up next. So let's create a keychain real quick. Let me say subscribe. Rockwell, that's okay. I will create a rectangle this big. I will make sure these are aligned like so. Then I will create a circle. Let's make it 10 by 10. And I will copy this one. Let me move it to here, copy and paste. And this one I will create 20 by 20. Let's align these two with each other like so. Now I can move it over here and align it in the middle. Let's click this one. So now you've got your keychain. Let me do a radius. Let me select this one, do the radius, and I want to change the corners. Come on, radius 5. Come on, why can I? Oh, I know, I cannot do this. First I need to do the radius, I think. So let me try this one first. Now I do the radius. Now I can do this one, yeah. So you first need to do the radius and then you can add this one. That's also fine, no problem. This align, then do this one. So there you go. This is my keychain. Let me do this one, make it blue. And based on my test sheets, material test sheets, I want to do the engraving 100 millimeters a minute at 30%. And I want to do the cutting, the black one at, let me see, 10 millimeters a second at 30%. Yeah. So I've changed the size so it will fit on the acrylic sheet. I've set the letters to a fill. As you can see, the fill I will do first. It's always good to do the engraving first and then the cutting, because if you cut parts out, they might get loose and shift a little bit. So that's why I do the fill first. I've already set the camera. This will take 1 minute and 20 seconds. So let's start it. As you can see, it turns white a little bit, but you can easily remove it using some isopropyl or water. And as you can see, it engraves pretty quick. It's almost ready already. Then it will do the cutting. Now it's cutting it out. Okay, it's ready. Let me open the lid. Let me move the laser to the home position. Zoom out a little bit. Let me see. Yes, it's cut out. Pick it up. Also this piece in the middle is cut out. As you can see, it's a little bit white. Let me clean it off. Let me focus. Yeah, let me clean this one and then I will get back to you. Okay, I've cleaned it. Let me dry it a little bit. As you can see, it's nicely engraved. You can see there's some haze on here. I can remove it, as you can see. Let me use some isopropyl alcohol. See if I can remove the haze. And I can. So just rub it on. And as you can see, also on the back, I think. Nice engrave, nice and clean cut on the sides. Of course, this is the first one, so I can tweak it a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with the first result. If you have something like this, for instance, you can just hook it on, like so. Let me see if I can get it on. Open this one. Yep. Then hook it on. And then you've got a keychain. Quick and easy. Can make a quick buck if you create these ones in bulk. Do some nice text on it. And then you can sell them in your store. Or give it to a friend or something. So just a quick minute and a half. You can get this one. And again, if you do it in batch, you do the whole sheet. You can create these ones pretty quickly. Or you can do some earrings, for instance. You can also cut these out of acrylic. Maybe choose a different color, of course. So next up, I'm gonna test a Slate coaster. Do an engraving on this one. I will set it at 600 millimeters a second. So pretty fast, 36,000 millimeters a minute. I will set it at 40%. Not sure if this is correct, but it will not cut into the stone anyway. So I will set it at 40%, 600 millimeters a second. And let's go. So in the beginning of this video I mentioned that sometimes when you put a higher speed in there, it will not go faster because of the overscan. And this is also the case here. If I put it at 600 millimeters a second and I check the time, it's 8 minutes and 29 seconds. If I now put it on 400 millimeters and check, it's 6 minutes. So the speed is lower, but the actual running time is 2 minutes lower. Let me see if I put 300. 6 minutes 11, so it's even a little bit lower. And 200, let's see where the threshold, 630. So I think 250 maybe. 612. Yeah, so if I put it at 250 millimeters a minute, it's 6 minutes and 12 seconds. And it was 8 minutes when I do the 600 millimeters a second, sorry. And I will show you why this is. Let me put it back on 600. And if I now enable the travel moves, you can see all this orange, this color. You can see it moves a lot past the actual engrave. So it stops here, but it has to, because the speed has to move all the way to here. So if I now set it to 250, let me do that again, 250. Now you can see it only moves just past the engrave itself. So because of the speed, it can just return to the other side quicker. So it will save you some time. So please keep this in mind. I have already aligned it. I've created this blue line. That's the actual size of the coaster. So I will turn that off. I will only do this one as the output. I've set it to 250 now. Let's set it to 30% because of the power. And see what it does. The video is already running. Yes, let me zoom in a little bit. And set the focus. As you can see, there's already a little bit on the coaster, but that doesn't matter. Let's start it. Turn on the fan, and you can see the speed of the machine. And as you can see, 30% is more than enough. You can clearly see the white on the coaster. If you like these messages, these texts, you can download them from Creative Fabrica. I will put a link in the description of this video. If you get a subscription yourself, you can download as much as you want. Or you can just download the individual ones I've used. I will put links to them. As you can see, it's almost ready. So it really moves very quick. If you do multiple at the same time, you can batch process these ones without any issue. Let me move the gantry. Let me open the lid. Let me move this aside. That's why I can open the lid. Here you go. Nice coaster. You can see here there's a little bit, and here, because this is a coaster which I've used before. So that's why there's a little mark here and also a color change. I tried to sand it off, but I didn't. So I just use this one as an example. But you can see it's a nice and clear engrave, very crisp. So that works out great using the CO2. And also you don't see any lines whatsoever, so that's nice. So again, very pleased with the result. So far I'm pretty happy with this machine. Very versatile. So wood, no problem. Acrylic, not an issue. Nice and clean engrave and cut. And also Slate coaster, turned out really nice. Yeah, so this might be my new all-route machine. I will put it on the other side, I think, for now, for the coming weeks, months maybe, to see how it does. Yeah, so far no complaints. A really well-built machine, very sturdy. Everything works as intended. Pretty quiet, smooth action. So yeah, I like it. I like it very much. I like the fact that there's no external chiller needed. It's embedded in this machine. Sometimes you need to have an external chiller or a big large bucket of water, distilled water. But that's not needed with this machine. You do hear it running, of course. You hear the pump and also the air assist and everything, but that's not an issue. So next up, I want to try to engrave on the glass. I've got these cheap picture frames. I buy these ones just for the glass to engrave on. 99 cents each, so pretty inexpensive. I've already taken out the glass from this one, put it on the laser bed, on the honeycomb bed, aligned everything and set the focus correctly. I'm using some toothpicks to raise the glass a little bit from the honeycomb bed. I've downloaded a different design. Again, this is from Creative Fabrica. I will put a link in the description of my video where you can find these. I have set the speed to 250 millimeters a second, and I've raised the power to 45%. Not sure if it will work. It's the first time I will engrave glass using a CO2 laser. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I will turn on the exhaust fan. I will reposition the camera so you can follow along. And let's start the engrave. It will take about 8 minutes also for this one. So not too bad. So the camera is repositioned. I have zoomed it in a little bit. Let's start. See what he does. Fingers crossed. Oh, that looks very promising. That's nice. Wow. This really saves a lot of time, but you don't need to apply the paint first. And it really looks very sharp and crisp. Hopefully you can see it on the video. Oh, nice. And we're done. Let me home the machine. Let me open the lid, see if I can open it. Yes, I can open it. Let me set the focus and remove this. Wow, this is real nice. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. Nice and crisp. Hopefully you can get a nice close-up. You can really feel it. It's in there. Nice. I think if you would do it for somebody else, you do it on the back side and then put it in reverse, mirror it. Then you cannot feel it on the top. But just for this example, I think it's turned out really, really nice. Really like it. You can just put it back in your frame and you can give it to someone. Just bend these clips like so. You put something black on the back, then you can clearly see it if you put a black backer. I don't have it at the moment, but you can see it, what it will look like. So again, no problem whatsoever for this machine. So the final thing I want to test in this video is stainless. Not sure if this will work. I want to try this. This is a stainless coaster. I have set the speed to 50 millimeters a second, so a little bit slower, and the power to 45%. So same as the glass. I've downloaded again a new design. I've already aligned everything, so let's see if it works. So I've already set the focus. This one will take, let me see, 8 minutes. So let's start and see what it does on stainless. Not sure if it will work. Don't think so. I do not see anything. No, I think it will work, but you need to have a special spray. Or I can try if I will paint it black, see if it works. But without any marking spray or anything, laser spray, it doesn't seem to do anything. So diode lasers will do a little bit more than the CO2. So I will stop it. Home the machine. Let me zoom in. You can clearly see nothing happens. So stainless without any additional preparation does not work. So second try, I did a quick coat of tempera paint on the stainless to see what the result will be. Just as an example, let me start the laser and see what it does. If it makes any difference or not. You can clearly see it will engrave in the tempera paint, but I'm not sure if it will leave any marks in the stainless. I think I should even lower the speed a little bit. 45 or 50 millimeters a second is, I think, still too fast. But let's see what it does. Maybe I will have a little mark on there. Let me see, let me move the laser out of the way. And then open the lid. See what it does. Let me take it. You can see the engrave in the tempera paint. I will clean it off, but I think, let me, no, well, maybe it does work. I will clean it and I will show you once it's cleaned. Here we go. Let me dry it. And I'm pretty impressed, to be honest, because I only did a quick coat of tempera paint, nothing fancy. And as you can see, you can already see a pretty sharp engrave. So if I lower the speed and also make sure that the tempera paint has a better coverage, because you can see the open lines where the paint was not applied properly, then it definitely will work. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope I covered everything you wanted to know about the CO2. I did different materials in this video, such as glass, worked out great, no treatment up front needed. So just without any preparation you can do this. Slate coasters also, no problem whatsoever for this CO2 laser. Wood, of course, no match for this laser. Acrylic, even transparent acrylic you can do with the CO2 nicely engraved and also cut. So that works out great. If you want to do stainless, it's possible with this machine. You do need to prepare it with some tempera paint or maybe a marking spray, I don't know. But that works out great if you do this. So again, no problem for this machine. I really like the speed of the machine. 600 millimeters a second is really fast, and that's because of the build quality, I think. The linear rails all around. It's a pretty sturdy machine. That also makes for it that it's a pretty heavy machine. It's 50 kilograms and it's a pretty sizable machine. Let me see, it's about 97 centimeters in width and 54 in depth. So if you take the hose into account, the exhaust hose, so it's about 64 centimeters and 25 centimeters high. So it's not a machine that you just put every now and then on the table. You just put it there and leave it there. It's a nice machine for if you're using, if you have a store, a shop, then you can really batch process these things and sell it in your store. It is a little bit more expensive than the diode lasers I'm using pretty often. most expensive I have, I think it's around 700 euros. It's a 40 watt laser. And this one sells about 1,500 to 2,000 euros. So it's double the price, but it's also it's a pretty solid machine. It can just batch process many projects that you want to sell. So if you have the money and you have a store, you want to do it more professionally, I could recommend this machine. It's a well-built machine, I think. Yeah, but of course it's up to you. If you want to spend, then you can spend this money. What more? I think, yeah, the build quality already mentioned. It's a solid steel. That's why it's so heavy. I like the crumb tray. You can easily clean it. Take out the honeycomb bed, so that's nice. It's well lit, so the LED light does a good job. And yeah, the automatic focus, did I already mention? I really like the automatic focus. Just with the press of a button, it goes down, it touches off, and it's set. So that's really convenient. From within LightBurn, you can just press the button and everything is set correctly. So that's nice. You don't need to fiddle with these little blocks or with the thumb screws or levers. Just press a button and you're good to go. So again, I hope I covered everything in this video. I will do more videos, probably doing some projects using this machine. Also maybe how to align the mirrors or clean the lens. That will be up in future videos. But for now, I want to leave it at this. If you have any questions, let me know. Just raise them and I will try to answer them when I can. If you like the video, let me know. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!